G'day guys, and welcome to this short video. Basic setup of the Equinox 800, similar to the Equinox 600, but the 800 does have a few more features. This machine is the 800, and so the idea of this video is you've just bought the detector, you put it together, and you're keen to go over to the park and just see what you can find for your first try. Can be a bit daunting to begin with. There's quite a few settings, and this is a very powerful machine, so there are a lot of things you can configure, but we won't go into that in this video. This is just to get started and to get over to the park. First thing I just wanted to explain is when you get the machine, I would suggest doing a factory reset because you just don't know the state of it. It's probably already been done, but let's just make sure that we're starting with a clean slate. So to factory reset, there's a power button on the side here. All you do is hold that in for a few seconds, the device will boot up, and then if you just wait, keep holding until you see FP, and now the device has been factory reset. Just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to turn that backlight on so you can see the display better. You would generally only use that if you were hunting at night. Just makes it a bit easier to see what's going on as the light fades. Next thing I'd suggest we do is go into the settings and make a few minor adjustments. So to go into settings, we press the settings button once, and initially we'll be in noise cancel, which we'll come back to in a minute. One more press of that, we'll go into ground balance, then we're into volume adjustment. Here I'd probably change that to 22, 23. If you're in a loud area, a park next to the road or something, you might want to go up to 25, that's the maximum. But 23, thereabouts should be fine. The next thing that we want to do, this is an Australian set up for Australian conditions, me being in Australia, but in the US or Europe there'll be certain coins that you'll want to look for. They will have their own target IDs, but in Australia I'm going to set this up here today for the 20-cent piece, 50-cent piece, $1 and $2 coins, and they have a fairly distinctive target ID as other coins do in other countries. But for Australia, what we're going to do here, when we first go into this setting, it's on -9. If you hold the plus button down, you'll move up to 2, which is the first target ID that's got a notch enabled. You'll see a little black dot there. We're going to press the accept reject button, turn that off. So now we've masked out number 2. Move up to 3, mask it out and discriminate it out. 4, 5, we're going to work our way up. Turn all of these off until we get to 16. 16 is a 20-cent piece. We're going to leave that one there. 17 is a 50-cent piece. We're going to leave that one there. Take 18 out. Take 19 out. Take 20 out. And then we're going to leave 21 and 22. 21 is a $2 coin. 22 is a $1 coin. 23 we'll take out. 24, 25, 26 we will leave, and that's what it's going to look like. Now by doing this, obviously we have discriminated out these signals where there's no black dot, and yes, we could miss targets, we could miss things that we really want to find, but this is just a very basic setup for those particular coins I mentioned: 20 cent, 50 cent, $1, $2. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to recovery speed. We're going to increase that to 7 from 5. The recovery speed is a setting that you change depending on how quickly you want to swing the coil. When you're a beginner, you tend to swing quite quickly until you understand how it works better, and then you'll slow down. So this just gives the machine a better chance of keeping up with a fast swing. We're now going to come out of that mode, out of settings, and we're going to just talk quickly about the sensitivity setting. So when you're out of settings, you've got sensitivity setting here. It goes between 0 and 25. And to change the sensitivity, it's just plus and minus. I'd suggest 22, maybe even 20, because this is about finding shallow coins that are only on the surface or within 1 or 2 centimetres of the surface. So we don't need high sensitivity. The higher the sensitivity, the deeper the machine looks into the ground, the higher the chance of finding other targets that you may not want to see, that might give you a different signal or mess up your signals. The other button here that you'll use all the time while you're detecting is the pinpoint and detect button. So at the moment we're in detect mode. Press that button once. We're now in pinpoint mode. Might actually come out of that and decrease our sensitivity since we're inside. Push that button once though, the crosshair will come up. This is pinpoint mode. It helps you identify exactly where the target is, and when the wheel lights up all the way around, you'll hear the sound. It'll be at its loudest. The target's directly under the middle of the coil. Press that button one more time. We're back into detect mode. Pretty much that is all you need to do initially. I will suggest also that you have a look at the way the coil cable is wrapped around the shaft here. Make sure that your coil cable is wound around the shaft like this and not loose. You don't want it hanging loose. There's always a chance that you could accidentally snag the cable getting it in and out of the car, or walking around with it, and that can damage the cable and the coil. You don't want that to happen. And also if it's loose, it can create false signals on your detector, so you don't want that either. So just make sure that's nice and snug. Now when you get over to your park where you're going to detect, what you want to do is a noise cancel. Now to get into a noise cancel mode, press settings button until you get to noise cancel, and all you need to do is lift the detector up into the air and point the coil towards your closest power lines or buildings, and then once you've done that, hold it in that position and press the accept reject button here. It'll do a noise cancel and it'll remove or balance the machine out for any electromagnetic interference that's in the area. That's pretty much it. The last thing I'll just suggest to you guys is make sure when you swing the coil that you keep it very close to the ground, as close as you can get it to the ground, and keep it level, parallel to the ground. And don't swing too quickly, just a nice, slow, steady swing left to right, backwards and forwards until you hear those targets. So good luck guys, and I hope you find plenty of money to spend, and there will be other videos later on explaining some of the more advanced setup features that I use. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.